12 shadow palette. Hey everybody, Mary here, and today I am doing a Q&A video for you because I am so full of knowledge that you all need to know.
Just kidding.
I just wanted to answer any questions you guys had, so I kind of put out a call on Instagram, on Snapchat, on Facebook. So I am just kind of go through these questions that I received and give you answers. If I didn't answer your question or I didn't answer it as fully as you'd like, I'm really, really sorry. I still love you and I hope you still love me. Okay, let's get going. Alrighty, so first question. If I'm an incredibly minimal makeup wearer and want to invest in a few quality makeup products, what do you recommend as must-haves for the minimal makeup folks like myself? That's a great question. And I have for you, I'm just going to show you a mess. The messiest of all messes. I was like, I should set this up all organized so it's easier for me to go through, and then I didn't. So, anyways, I have this crazy mess on my desk for you, or next to the desk, so I can show you the essential makeup pieces that every human person who wants to wear makeup should own. And you might not necessarily use it every single day, but you should have it anyhow. So, numero uno, a primer. This is Wet n Wild's Coverall Primer. I reviewed it in my primer blog. Been using it a little bit more. Not too bad. Next, a foundation or a base, a BB cream, a CC cream, whatever sort of thing you want to be putting on your face that's going to even your skin tone. That needs to go in your kit. Next, you're going to need to have some sort of a concealer. Concealer.
Conceal. Don't feel. Don't let them know.
Next thing you're going to need to have after your concealer is something contoury. This is kind of optional for people. I think contouring is something that you should have on hand, especially for special occasions. So you've got a couple of options. You can get yourself an entire contour kit, or you can get yourself singles, a single contour, a single highlight color, and then you'll be super happy. Blush, mega importante. I hope I didn't just offend everyone who speaks Spanish just now. That was not my intent. Anyways, you need to have a blush. That's mega important. Some sort of powder. Setting powder is nice, unless you're a super, super, super dry individual, and then probably don't set with powder because you don't need it. And then some sort of mascara, a neutral eyeshadow palette. Things are falling out, oh my gosh. So you've got a couple of options of neutral palettes. Color is super fun to play with. As you know, I love to play with color, but you would use a neutral eyeshadow palette almost every single time that you wear eyeshadow. You use it as a base. Behind those bright colors, you use it by itself. Super important. Some kind of an eyeliner product. So you can do pencil liner, you can do liquid liner, you can do the Tarteist liner, which is my absolute favorite liner in the entire universe. We're going to kind of go over this a little bit, so I'm going over this really fast because I'm just telling you what you need in your kit. And then some sort of a lip product. So, lipstick, lip gloss, if that's your thing, and lip gloss should be your thing. Or maybe some sort of a liquid lipstick. Those are long wear. So, that's what you need to have. Oh, whoa! Oh my gosh, I almost forgot eye primer. Eye primer, super important. Eye primer is more important than regular face primer. So, that is what anybody should need, basic. And there are a lot of ways you can go about this. So I'm showing you like some kind of big neutral eyeshadow palettes. You don't need to buy yourself a 12 shadow eyeshadow palette. That's totally not necessary. They have like quads, you know, those little drugstore quads, or you can even buy eyeshadow singles, buy some brands that you really, really like in just some nice neutral colors that all go well together, you know, what have you. But that's gonna be your main staple items. In terms of lipsticks, I recommend to everyone across the board a red, a pink, a bright, and a neutral. The thing about that is that you can mix shades. So if you want like a berry tone, kind of do a little bit of red and a little bit of pink, boom, berry. You don't even have to buy the berry color lipstick. But you can also be like me and have like 200 lipsticks. So either or, doesn't matter. So that's muy importante. Again with the offensive Spanish. Okay. Katie asks me, I've been looking for a good suggestions for a good BB or CC cream for dry skin. There are so many BB creams and CC creams on the market, it's kind of ridiculous. So if you want to go the Korean route, because BB creams are from Korea, trust me, I'm Korean, then there are a couple of brands that are really, really popular. Etude House is one, and Dr. Jart is another. That is like the high-end version. I guess is really spendy. To be totally honest, I'm quite happy with the Garnier Fructis Skin Renewer Miracle Skin Complexion Protector. I don't know. It's a BB cream. It's by Garnier. You buy it in the skincare aisle rather than the makeup aisle. Like I said, tons and tons of brands. If you want to achieve like a dewy finish, definitely don't get anything mattifying. But just kind of look and see. You know, you can go to Sephora, you can sample every single BB or CC cream that they have there. Anything that is a liquid that they can put into one of their little containers, you can sample it and take it home for free. Free $99, no dollars. So do that. Okay. What is my go-to foundation? Well, Amy, let me tell you my go-to foundation. I actually have a lot of foundations in my kit. You probably know that if you've been following me on Instagram for a while, or if you read my blog, but this is my holy grail foundation. Maybelline Fit Matte plus Poreless. Now, if you have dry skin, don't use this one. They do have a dewy finish. I'm not quite sure what it's like. I don't use it because if I were to put dewy finish foundation on my already oily skin, people would be like,
can I give you a tissue or a blotting paper or powder or something?
So this is my love. How many makeup brushes do you need, particularly shadow? I mean, I'm going to be totally real right now and admit I use pretty much all of these on a regular basis. So need is kind of a tricky word there because I feel like I need them. But just like with the makeup, I'm going to show you the absolute necessities if you just want to buy some individual brushes or you want to buy a really basic set. What should you be getting? Number one, you need to have something for your foundation. Blending sponge is always optional. Regular foundation brush is always optional. You can do the stippling brush. I don't think people are really using the stippling brush ever since those beauty blenders came out. Or you can use a buffer. Something for concealer. They make synthetic brushes. These are also nice if you buy the smaller version. You can double it as something for a creme eyeshadow. So I really like to have that even if you're not going to use it for your concealer. Get one anyhow. You're going to need to have a blush brush, and you can use that for blush, you can use it for contour, probably one for blush and one for contour just so you aren't having to clean it every single time you use it. Some sort of a powder brush, you got this one, you got your duo fiber, fancy. And then in terms of eyeshadow brushes, you really need more than this, but if you were to only have the bare minimum of eyeshadow brushes, 3 of them would 4 of them would suffice. 3 of them, that's ridiculous. You need a clean, fluffy blending brush. Some sort of an eyeshadow brush, some sort of a blending brush, some sort of a small shader. Small shader can go on your lid, it can go underneath. Small shader is crucial, and you gotta have a clean, fluffy blending brush. This is so you can diffuse out the color. So those are like the bare minimums. I've got a lot. So I've got my big shadow brush that I use over my entire lid, and then I've got a mid-size that I like to use on my moving lid. I've got a small one that I like to use for highlight underneath my brow bone. I've got this little teeny tiny that I like to use if I'm really trying to get right up close to the lash line underneath here. Got some more of these synthetic shadow brushes because you just never know. You just never know, guys. You just don't. And then I've got a lot of extras. So I use Morphe Flawless Collection brushes, as I talked about in a previous video. I love these for blush, bronzer, and highlight. But, you know, if you just want to go the traditional brushes rather than the Flawless, you certainly may. I like to also have just a large powder brush that's kind of the same idea as the big, clean, fluffy blending brush for your eyes. Just a brush that I can kind of blend everything out because I don't like to have harsh lines between my blush and my contour. All in all, oh, and a lip brush. Woo! Oh my gosh, I almost forgot to tell you about the lip brush. Lip brush, lip brush. Super important. Okay, in terms of how frequently you should clean them, once a month will do you just fine. If you feel like the brush isn't performing very well, that's probably because you're using a creme product with it, then wash it more frequently, but really kind of base that off of how well it's performing, and that's just because you don't want to dry out the bristles. And also, you can cause this part to come off of this part. Just slide right off, or you can have the issue of the bristles one day just popping out, which I have had happen with cheap brushes, and it was really, really sad, and from thenceforth, I vowed to only use good quality brushes. You can use baby shampoo, honestly. I mean, I'm using a specific type of brush cleaner just because I need to make sure that my brushes are disinfected for clients, but on my personal brushes, I use like baby shampoo, I use dish soap, kind of whatever I have on hand. If I have natural bristle brushes, so like my powder brush, sometimes I will condition it every once in a while. Anyways, in terms of switching out the color, there's a couple of things you can use. A paper towel, just to kind of like, you know, or just to wipe it off in between colors. Because a lot of times, you know, like let's say that I use a bright, bright blue and the next day I don't want a bright blue on my eyelid. You can use paper towel, or you can buy one of those little bun snaps, kind of like that weird material. You know what? I'm just going to go get mine and show it to you. I'm back. Okay. So this is what I'm talking about. It's just called a bun snap. I got it at TJ Maxx for $3.99. You can buy these everywhere. One of these deals where you put your hair around it and then you have like the most perfect looking weird bun. These are perfect for powder product brushes. So use my eyeshadow, oh, bright blue, and then you just, and because of the texture, it's kind of scratchy. It will come off and you save yourself having to wash it every single time. And then these are easy to wash. You honestly get it under some water with a little bit of soap. That's it. Super easy to clean. They make a product called Color Switch. It is made out of the exact same material. And I swear if you buy the Color Switch and you pay as much as they're asking for, I think it's like $20. Ridiculous, and I'm going to make fun of you because $4 at TJ Maxx. If I have an eyeliner pencil that matches my eyebrow color, can I use it as an eyebrow pencil? Why, Laura, absolutely you can do that. How do you keep red lipstick from becoming red lip liner by the end of the night or from running outside your lip line? Oh my gosh, everyone's worst nightmare, right? So, I have a couple of words, they are so hard. Okay. So lip liner is super crucial. You got a couple of options. You can do a clear one that is like a lip primer. Also, lip primers do exist. I don't personally use them because I don't think I need to, but they do exist. And it's the same concept as face primer, just helps your makeup stick to it a little bit longer. Or just a regular lip liner. So this is BH Cosmetics Waterproof Lip Liner in Delight. It's red, and you apply this lining your lips all around, but then also filling your entire lip. That is going to help the lipstick adhere to it, and then also if the lipstick wears off during the day, you still have the lip liner underneath so it doesn't look weird, and then you just put your lipstick right above it. Lip liner also helps things from bleeding out into your face. That's the worst. The glossier the lip product, the more it's going to bleed. That's just the way that it is. Also, Using a lip brush gives you a much better precision. You're kind of like lining your lip with your lipstick product. You're blending it into the lip skin rather than just sliding it on, so you're gonna get way, way less transfer if you use a lip brush. That's why you should have one of these things. And also it just looks a lot prettier when you line your lips with it. You can also take your ye olde translucent powder, slap a tissue on your mouth, and then just lightly dust. Okay, I tried that once and I inhaled so much translucent powder, it was ridiculous. So apparently it works, but you have to be smarter than me. So, alrighty. Usually just wash my face with bar soap in the morning and at night. Lauren. First of all, soap on the face. No. You want to use soap-free products. So, I'm just going to kind of tell you what I'm doing on my face. This is pretty specific to my oily skin, but in general, these are just things you can take away. So, you want to have a gentle cleanser. Gentle is most important, especially the older you get. And I like to pair that with a facial cleansing brush. Oh, so nice. Oh. Okay, this one is Oil of Olay. It was $20. It works just fine. You can also get the Clarisonic. I've heard that the Clarisonic is like a life-changing event, and I'm sure that it is, but you can get them for less expensive through a lot of different brands. So use the facial cleansing brush like a couple of times a week just to help exfoliate your skin a little bit more. But a gentle facial cleanser is very important because they don't have soap in them. And then you're going to want to have some sort of a toner. This is Dermalogica.
Just a nice toner spray. And I'm toned!
Or you can just get regular toner that you put on a cotton round and swipe on your face. And then some sort of a serum. I really love the Hey Honey. I've talked about this multiple times. The Hey Honey Nourishing Facial Serum is so incredible. It moisturizes, it smooths, it improves the appearance of skin. But lots of serums out there. There are serums for fine lines. There are serums for dark spots. There are serums for everything. So think about what issue you have with your skin and then use that serum on that part of your face. So then again, as we mentioned, something for your eyes. And at nighttime, a night creme. I'm using this Lumine. It is vitamin C and it smells deliciously like oranges. And again, it's because it's brightening. Night cream is super important because it helps nourish your skin and it's just really a lot thicker and more luxurious. So that's super important for you to do. Skincare is mega important. Koreans these days have a 7-step process, which people think is crazy, but it works for them. Koreans are known for their pretty skin. So like, what happened with me? Can we just discuss that for a second? Because I'm Korean. I don't have pretty skin. Anyways, feels like I'm constantly battling chapped lips and never get to wear lipstick. Never get to wear lipstick. Oh my gosh, that makes me so sad for you. Number 1, make sure that you're moisturizing, but don't over moisturize. Because if you over moisturize, then it's going to get more and more chapped. Which I know sounds weird, but it is actually a real thing. So I always carry a nice little chapstick or a lip balm in my purse, but honestly, I may be using it twice a day. I really apply my lipstick once in the morning. If I think I'm going to go back out later that night after I've eaten a couple of meals, then I will touch up, but otherwise, that's the one time that I'm applying lip product to my lips, and then I'm applying chapstick maybe once in the morning as part of my skincare routine, and then something at night. So don't lick your lips. Your saliva actually makes your skin dry out really, really badly. So if you ever think that's a good way to moisturize anything, false. Another option that you have, if you still find you're battling it quite a bit, is some sort of a lip scrub. So this is Lush's Mint Juleps. I like this scent just because popcorn and bubblegum seemed too weird for me because I'm 31. And anyways, I like Lush. Number 1, they're cruelty-free. Number 2, everything is handmade. Number 3, because it's like so all natural, you can even consume it. I mean, it's not like I'm sitting here with a spoon like, lip scrub. But if I have little particles on my lips, I don't have to worry like, oh my gosh, what kind of chemicals are going into my body right now. You just apply a very small amount onto your finger, like honestly this much and then you just exfoliate, exfoliate, exfoliate. You don't want to do this too often, like every other day at most, just in the morning to take just to take off the dead skin that's hanging around, and you should be able to wear lipstick then. Next question, what is your favorite makeup remover? I hate the oil-based ones. So, even the oil-free, for whatever reason, feel oily. I don't know why that is, but in general, when you're removing your makeup, you're going to want to use an eye makeup remover for your eye makeup because it's specifically for the eye area and it's gentle and sensitive enough. And then you're going to want to use a makeup wipe for your face, and then you're going to want to cleanse your face off. Don't ever think that a makeup wipe, one of these suckers, is actually sufficient for washing your face. It is not at all. So Neutrogena makes an oil-free eye makeup remover that's pretty good. I also like the Body Shop's chamomile. It's $16, and this one I think is like $4. So, you know, choose whichever one you like. But really, any oil-free makeup remover I really like. If you're having a problem with mascara, what I found is not just wiping this top layer of your eye, but getting in underneath, in between your lashes. So keep your eyes shut, but get in between the lashes, and that really helps the mascara get completely off. Can anyone do a winged liner, or does it depend on the shape of your eye? And how do you do it right? Yes, everyone can absolutely do a winged liner. How to do it right takes a lot of practice. Just to show you, and I'm probably going to mess it up and it's going to be awful. It's just going to probably be the most embarrassing experience, and I'm just going to have to delete everything that's happening right now, so I'm just ultimately talking for myself while I'm editing. So I am using the Tarte Cosmetics Tartiste and my Mikasa Beauty E110 liner brush. So, let's zoom on in. Creepy. Okay, so this is horrifying. I've just never done this before. So the biggest key is draw your eyeliner on, honestly, with your eye open. That's how you're going to be able to figure it out with your eye shape, because everyone's shapes are different. You can fill it in, you know, later with your eyes shut, obviously. So you draw that first line, and that's what your base is going to be. Like, oh, this is where my winged liner is going to go today. If you're having a major issue, you can always apply Scotch tape just right here, starting at that outer corner of your eye, lay it down, and then you've got a perfect, you know. Anyways. So we draw that first line, now we're drawing a second line to connect. Because I have a monolid, I don't go all the way to the inner corner. It's totally not necessary because I open my eye and it's gone. So you can see now I've got the outline of liner going on. And I love this Tarte Cosmetics Tartiste. It's super black and it's super pigmented. But I also really like the New York Color Cosmetics liquid eyeliner, which is I think $1, maybe $2 at the drugstore. So I usually use that to fill in. So then you just fill it on in. Make it just super black. Am I covering? I might just have. And yes, you'll see that I'm using my finger to drag it around, because oftentimes it doesn't look very good, and that's how I clean it up. You can use concealer, you can use a makeup wipe, whatever have you. And that's how you draw a winged liner. Okay, let's zoom back out. Alrighty. So, practice makes perfect. That's just one of those things. When you're looking at the shape of your eye, you know, and if you have something really complicated like a hooded lid or something, go on, honestly, Google it. Winged liner for hooded lids, winged liner for monolids, winged liner for deep set eyes, winged liner for whatever you might have, and you're going to be able to find it. And now I'm going to feel weird having just one winged liner on for the rest of the video, but I'm not like those other vloggers who's like, oh, I'm going to fill in the other eye. Nope, just going to leave it. Okay, so that in my opinion is the easiest way to do it, is start with the wing, outer, draw the connecting line, and then fill it in. Next question is, I can't afford to spend a ton of money on good makeup, but I don't want to buy the cheapo stuff that ruins your skin. What's the best to fit in that arena? So, I think that a lot of drugstore makeup actually has become surprisingly better. So you'll notice that my primer that I can't find right now because mask. Okay, my primer, my foundation, my concealer, my blush, they are all drugstore brand, or they are brands like City Color Cosmetics. You guys know that I've talked about them a lot, that are really inexpensive. You can't buy them in a drugstore, but the pricing is very similar to drugstore. So for example, this big, humongous, fatty blush was only $5 because, wow, because I think that's an area where you can kind of save your money. And even some lip products, so these LA Girl Matte Flat Finish Pigment Glosses are drugstore, very inexpensive, and NYX Cosmetics is one of my favorite brands. Their Extra Creamy Round comes in 108 shades. 108! And it's really inexpensive as well. But where I think unequivocally you must not save your money is eyeshadow. Guys, buy the nice eyeshadow. So, we're going to pull this out again. This is the Naked palette. All of the Naked palettes by Urban Decay are $54. And I know that seems just heinous for a really large, for a palette that size. If you want to save a little bit of money, the Too Faced, this one is $49. I'll leave it down below. They also have some smaller palettes that are $36, have fewer eyeshadows. That's where you're going to want to spend your money, honestly. The discrepancy between drugstore eyeshadow and high-end eyeshadow is kind of ridiculous. So if all you can do is afford one really, really nice thing, make that one really, really nice thing be eyeshadow. Foundations that don't clog pores. Okay, so here's the tricky thing. When it comes to acne, it is a tricky little thing, and no one can actually say what it is that's causing it. So you can say, oh, I'm pretty sure this foundation is clogging my pores and giving me acne, but it might also be stress, or hormones, or the weather. It could be a number of different things. And so it's really, really hard to say that the foundation is, in fact, clogging your pores. So one thing I would recommend is going somewhere like Sephora and testing out a bunch of different brands if you're concerned about it. Anything that is not oil-based, which is pretty much everything, will be good for your skin. And also think about what kind of skin you have. I have really oily skin, so I tend to go more towards the matte end of things. If you have really dry skin, you want to go more for the dewy finishes or a lighter coverage. I would say wear the least amount of coverage that you can and feel comfortable in your own skin, because the more product you're layering on, I guess, could potentially be a problem. But I will say this. I have adult onset acne. I break out all of the time, especially around here because it's hormonal, and I layer on like a billion products onto my face and they never make me break out unless I sleep in them. So don't sleep in your makeup. Foundations with SPF, you know, you can, but just use an SPF moisturizer in general. You just have to have SPF in your skin. You'll regret it, trust me, when you're like 60 years old and you look like you're 90. Blush situation. So many times I forgo because I don't know what I'm doing help. I'm not quite sure what it is that I'm helping you with, so I'm just going to kind of give you a brief overview of how blush works. If you do choose to contour, which some people want to and some people do not, that is up to them. You want to contour first and highlight first, and then you're going to fill in your blush. So you see that I'm already wearing some today, so I'm going to just take a little bit more of this blush and my M500 Morphe. You can also use a traditional blush brush. And I'm going to smile like this, and that creates the apples of my cheeks. And the blush goes on the apples of the cheeks, which is the roundest part of your cheek. And then you kind of want to just blend it. You don't want to just have like a certain, you don't want to ever put it on the front of your face, that's for dang sure. So you just want to, apple of your cheek, blend it out really, really nicely. If you still feel like you kind of have a weird harsh line, then you can take that big fluffy brush like I do and blend it out into your contour or whatever. So apple of the cheek, never the front of the face. If you think you're wearing too much, you can always wearing a little bit too much. Done and done. Okay. What is the best way to keep my makeup from disappearing by the end of the day? That would be primer. Face primer, eye primer, lip primer. All of the primers will help stop that. Lipstick and lip stain. What are the differences of all of the different lip products? That's a great question because there are a billion out there. So here you have a traditional lipstick, and it's just lipstick. And I think we all know how lipstick works. This is a satin finish. There's also mattifying lipsticks that have a nice matte finish, so that means it's not going to be shiny or satin finish at all. And then you got lip glosses. Do you want me to swatch these for you? I'm going to swatch them. So this is the NYX Cosmetics Extra Creamy Round in Eros. See, it's kind of satiny. This is the City Color Be Matte in Bebe Pink. I bought this color, and I'm not quite sure if it really works on my skin tone. So it's right there. Matte. No shimmer, no shine. Just a matte color. This is the Lip Gloss by Gerard Cosmetics. This is Cocoa Bean. So if you're like me and you remember that lip glosses used to be nasty and sticky, they are no more. They're very pigmented and creamy. And then you have lip stains, which I don't have one right now, but I also have a liquid lipstick, which is kind of in the same vein. This is that LA Girl Cosmetics in Tulle, Tulle. This is gonna dry and then it's gonna stay put for eternity, but you can use makeup remover and get it off. If you are having real issues with it, use coconut oil and that will remove it because oil breaks down pretty much everything. So if you find that you're having issue with your lipstick, even the long wear lipsticks coming off no matter what, think to yourself, did I eat an oily meal today? If the answer is yes, that is why your lipstick is disappearing. Let's see, my lashes do not stay curled. They start out curled. I find mascara makes them straighten out again in dampness and they end up stick straight. Oh, that is tragedy. Okay, so always curl your lashes before the mascara. That's very, very crucial that you do that because if you do it after mascara, you run the risk of ripping your eyelashes out of your head and then you use your little whatever mascara it is that you want to use. If you're having issue with that, you can curl it normally, which is just the You can also grab the ends and, oh my gosh, so creepy. You can do this and this will help give them an extra curl. So you can do that too. You're definitely going to want to use a curling mascara. If the mascara says that it helps curl or maintain curl or whatever, that's going to be what you want. So anything that's like just lengthening isn't going to be good for you. You're going to want to look at the formula of the mascara and check that out. So hopefully that helps. I know what you're talking about though. Some people just have the stick straightest lashes and the only way that you can really get them to change is by very diligently curling them every single day and training them to not be stick straight. Kind of annoying. Question about eyebrows. I love talking about eyebrows. Alrighty, so how do you get your eyebrows to look the same every day? Honey, you don't, is what. Remember this rule. They are sisters, not twins. So do give yourself a little bit of leeway if they're not looking identical, if they don't look exactly the same way as they did the day before. The number one key to your makeup looking good and consistently good is being willing to spend the time to do it. The more time you spend, the better it's going to look, the more consistent your results are going to be. If you're giving yourself just a couple of minutes or like, oh my gosh, I have like 30 seconds, I gotta do my eyebrows, they're not gonna look good. So if you give yourself the time, you're gonna be able to consistently practice, then that should help. If you're using a pencil and you feel like things aren't really looking quite right, sharpen it. It might be a dullness factor. I don't love self-sharpening pencils just because the point can get kind of flat and dull and then you're never going to get the same results that you got from before. And always remember to use yourself a spoolie, which is kind of like a big mascara wand, to blend everything out. That's super crucial as well. I hope that helps. Oh my gosh, this, I can already tell, is going to be the longest video ever, and I'm really, really sorry. And for those of you who stuck all the way to the end, Thank you. I love you very much. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like this video and give me some thumbs up. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter and Snapchat and Facebook, and just to make sure that you're just my friend in all the social media ways. And also, and you're hearing this first, there's going to be an Instagram giveaway very shortly, so you should stay tuned for that. Alrighty, I love you guys.